He's a pirate, he only has one eye, but still he's a classic guy. Today we are looking at Ragetti from Pirates of the Caribbean. Arr, mateys! Welcome to the Pirate Cave. Today we are looking at Ragetti, the pirate from Pirates of the Caribbean series. As you can see, we have a big clear window through which we can see the figure. Then we have the figure's name, Ragetti of course, and some of the accessories he comes with: pistol, sword, and bathhouse base. To the side here we have some nice graphics of the Pirates of the Caribbean skull, and we find out that this is a Series 1 figure from Pirates of the Caribbean by Neca. Right there we also have a choking warning hazard on the front. Coming to the back of the package of this figure, we can see that again this is a Series 1 Pirates of the Caribbean figure. We also can see the other figures in this series: Captain Jack Sparrow, Sao Feng, Pintel, and Ragetti himself that we are going to discuss today. Also, you have a pretty nice graphic representation of the figure itself on the back and the pirate's name. Coming to the side, we also have a very nice picture of the figure itself, and to the side we can also see again the name Ragetti right there. Alright, say enough with this box. Let's take a look at the accessories Ragetti comes with. Now, first of all, he does have a pistol. It does look like a black colored plastic, but on top of that you can see there's some added silvery paint, and that gives it quite a nice weathering look to it, especially visible right on the handle. Also, I think to the top side there's also some triggering mechanism. Now this doesn't really move, although I expected it to, but I guess overall that's pretty good. Coming to the other side of the pistol, there's also some detailing going on. I don't know exactly what it should represent, but it's pretty nice. A good pirating firearm after all. I think the pistol actually looks pretty good. Now I'm going to show you how this pistol stacks up in the figure's hand. And surprisingly enough, it looks very well. You can see the grip, it's quite natural on the pistol, and you also can see that his trigger finger lands where it should be on the trigger. Now that's quite an important fact when it comes to firearms with figures, and this is really well done. Ragetti also comes with a sword, because of course every pirate needs his handy sword. Now this sword is a bit lacking at the detail level, and I could also notice that the plastic is rather thin and it does look like it could break. There's also really not much detailing going on to the handle, and the blade does seem to be, well, kind of on the thin side. I would probably see a risk here of this weapon's blade actually breaking off. As you can see, it really bends easily, and the plastic doesn't seem that elastic, and the place it could probably break, it's right next to the handle. The sword itself does fit rather well in Ragetti's hand. But I have a hint for you: every time you try to put such an accessory in the hand of a figure, do try to actually pry its fingers away from the hand side. This way you have less chances to break one of these thin plastic accessories. Ragetti also comes with something that looks like a stand, and as you might be able to notice, the stand does have only one peg, and this will help you to actually peg the figure in place to this stand. Now, the stand is advertised as a bathhouse base, and you can see all these kind of sea elements all over this wooden flooring, and somewhere in the center there's some kind of a smudgy material. I don't even want to know what that is. But on the back of it, you can see there's a stamp with Disney, made in China, you know, the NECA logo, all the usual, and some paint, but that won't bother you because that will be on the back. But I would say pretty decent looking stand. Time to have a closer look at this fella here, and the first thing I noticed is his rubbery clothes. Quite interesting, his jacket seems to be sort of a rubbery material, and I'm actually great fan of that. I do like these clothes that actually can move. Also, his strap does seem to be quite rubbery, and his shirt, and then he has all sorts of accessories around that do seem also to be of this rubbery material. Now, they also added some texture to these fabrics, and I think being rubbery, it will be much resilient in time and also can adjust when you are trying to actually pose the figure itself. I must say, I really like the way his clothes are done, and I do like they did add plenty of texture to them, so the fabrics do actually look a bit more natural. Overall, looking very good, and I think it's about time we take a closer look at Ragetti's face. Yet surprising again, although I did say a lot of surprising during this video, it's again that he has a nice sculpt to his head. I do like the nice level of details all over, and the way the missing eye, well actually his wooden eye, placed on the socket, actually differentiates itself from the blue one, the still remaining eye he has. Under the natural eye, let's say, he does have some white smudge. I don't really know what that's about, or if this is maybe an issue with my figure. Again, a closer look at his clothes does reveal that they are made from this very nice rubbery material that has a nice rubbery feeling, and also, again, shows us a very nice level of texture. Texture all over his accessories, his small red hat over there, all over to his other clothing, and to all the way to his pants and to his jacket. This texture looks quite nice and adds a great level of detailing, and I really do like that. There's a fair amount of creasing going on with these pants, especially in the ankle area. Also look at this big feet he has, or at least I can say big shoes. Maybe he had to steal them from a dead man, but still they look a bit funny, and at the top of his feet we can actually see peg holes. It is now time to have a look at the articulation of this figure. The head has great articulation. It can move from side to side, from up to down. It does seem to be a ball joint under there, or maybe even a double ball joint, and that looks great. It can spin his head round. That would obviously kill him, but you know, if you do like doing that, you can actually do it. Overall, I do like the way it's lean to the front. His hands do seem to have a universal ball joint to the shoulders here. They do seem to move quite easily. There's also a swivel and up and down movement, but uh-oh. What do we have here? His jacket seems sculpted the way that it actually has a hole on it, and the hand then is attached on top. The hand also spins. There's no articulation to the elbow whatsoever, but the hand does actually have a swivel, but not at the hand side, more to the cuff of his jacket. That is the point where you can actually then turn around his hand. Going to the other hand, we will come again to the same story. Pretty much free movement up and down. There is also a swivel to this hand as well, but oh, here we go again. Right over there, his jacket seems to be sculpted in a way that it has a big hole in it. And when you would like to pose this figure with his hand upwards, that hole will become very visible. Down to his hand, again we have rotation at the cuffs of his jacket, just as the other hand. As you can notice, there's also 360 movement to the hand as well. Going to the body, I did notice it does have some torso movement, although pretty much hindered by his clothes. and still it's a good fact that you can actually pose his torso going from right to left, but the movement is somewhat hindered by his clothes. Coming to the feet, there's absolutely no articulation whatsoever, then that you can actually spin them from the end of his pants. There's no other articulation points whatsoever. What you can do with this, you can have some really weird poses for this figure. I think, would you pose the figure like that? I guess it looks kind of funny. Maybe you can make a pose of him dancing or mocking someone with his feet up like that. I don't know. I will try to do that. I think that looks interesting enough. But then again, that's all you get in this department. Speaking of posing, I decided to show you the way I will actually pose it in my collection and display him. I do like the fact that this sword actually can go to his holster, and that's pretty easily to do. You can, add it to his hand if you like that, but you also have the option to store it away in the sword holster, and I do think it's a pretty well look for him. Also a bit tilted to the side, it does complete it as a pretty nice pirate. This is the Collector, and today we were looking at Ragetti from Pirates of the Caribbean Series 1 done by Neca. And I have to say, although it does have some flaws, it's a pretty neat looking figure. Now do not forget, if you do like what you see on the Collector's Cave, do not forget to check out some of the other content on this channel and hit that subscribe button to be up to date with all the brand new cool figure reviews that are coming your way.